4 years of desk setups and making videos and building out this whole entire space exactly how I envisioned it. All good things have to come to an end, and I'm moving out to a brand new space. I know this is kind of sad, but I am genuinely excited for the future of this channel, of the whole new setup that I have planned out. But for now, let me give you guys one final studio tour. This is David, your casual nerd. Let's go ahead and check it out. So first we'll talk about the left side of the studio, which includes my pegboard and also my camera drawer. So as you can see up there, I do have a tube light. This is from Amaran. I mainly put it up there just because it looks pretty cool. It kind of lights up the whole backboard, but realistically I use these in a lot of like b-roll shots. And then next thing we have here are the keyboards. So this is super important, and all the rest of the stuff is just kind of like little knickknacks and little storage spaces. So you know, it's nothing too fancy, but it really just works for me and my setup. And then the next thing we'll talk about is my camera drawer, which I really haven't gotten in depth in any one of my videos, but this is an IKEA Bror workbench. It's kind of equivalent to those Husky workbenches, but this is just a lot cheaper. We have some lighting from BenQ. We have a HomePod mini here, and then we have my studio headset whenever I'm video editing because I need to have that crispy audio for you guys. And I also made this drawer to operate like a power station. So I have one of those desk setup surge protectors, but I kind of fashioned it onto this workbench and just basically charge everything that I need here in the studio. Then we have the AirPods Max, and these are just for the memes. And then if we open the drawer, this one has all of my lenses, and I usually put my cameras up here too if they're not already set up in the studio. And then second drawer, this is where all my lens filters are, and then on this side is where all my cables are. This third drawer, this is where I have all my smaller tripods, smaller lights, and then on this side are our camera strap. And then the very last drawer, this stuff is just basically the crap that I couldn't fit up here. So all of my camera gear, I just keep it all in this area. I know everything's here whenever I need to get something. And yeah, that's it for the left side of my studio. Okay, and then we have the main centerpiece to my whole entire studio, which is my desk setup. So if you guys have been following me throughout this whole entire journey, you've seen the whole entire transformation. So I'm not really gonna go too in depth on this one because I've covered everything on here, but I'll just cover a couple of the main things. So the desk itself is from FlexiSpot. This is called the FlexiSpot E5. And this desk has just been super solid ever since I got it. And with all this weight and all this gear on top of here, it doesn't really wobble too much. The only thing that really wobbles is my monitor, which is on a monitor arm. And then the next thing is my monitor, which is from LG. This is the 38WN95C. It's a 38-inch ultra wide monitor, and this thing is a dream to edit on and also to play games. It doesn't have the highest refresh rate, especially to nowadays standards. It only runs up to 144 Hertz. This monitor has been really good to me for the last couple years, but in the new setup, we're gonna change things up. And then just to the right of my monitor is my PC. So this is my crowning jewel of my desk setup. I'm super proud because this is my very first build, and I've swapped cases, I've swapped parts out of this thing already. So this is the original build. But for now, it has an AMD 5900X, a 3080 Ti, which still performs really well to this day. And all this is enclosed in this NZXT H9 case. And say what you want about fish tank cases, but I think they're just gorgeous. It shows off every single part of the computer, especially if you have really aesthetic parts in there. And then behind the monitor, I do have my MacBook set up back there, but that's a M1 Max MacBook Pro 16-inch, and that laptop handles all of my editing, all of my productivity tasks. This PC here is strictly for gaming, and just like my MacBook is strictly for productivity. But in 2025, I am looking forward to upgrading this PC. And for the peripherals, we have the Razer Viper Mini Signature Edition, this custom keyboard from Yunzi. It also has the CeraKey ceramic keycaps on top of it. It sounds really thocky. I'm also testing out this new keyboard that I got from NZXT. I really like it. The only thing is that you have to plug it in, but for gaming, this keyboard is really good. And yeah, that's basically what's on my desk setup. I do have a couple of other things like my Scarlett Solo, which is my audio interface. I do have an Anker charger, which charges most of my mouse and keyboards if they need to be. And then I have the CalDigit dock, which helps connect to the MacBook, and it gives it all the USB ports, all the stuff it's ever gonna need. But yeah, that is the desk setup. It's been my creation for the last 3 or 4 years now. And I'm sure I'm gonna put up like a little graphic to show my very first setup here at this space. But the night and day difference between that setup and this is just insane. I hope that really appeals to you guys and makes you want to look at my previous desk setups, even though my very first one was super cringe. And then to the very right of my desk, I have my Alex drawer. So this one houses my keyboards that I'm currently testing. But if we move on to the drawers themselves, there's really not much at all to talk about. This just houses all of my extra gear, so like extra mouse, all my charging cables. And then I also keep like my extra keyboard stuff and key switches here. And then a lot of my gaming peripherals like controllers and stuff like that. And at the very bottom, I have a bunch of cases and just random stuff. But yeah, that's my Alex drawer. Not really much going on, but I do like this new change that I had this year. I added brand new walnut slats on the back of this thing, and I added some Govee lighting, and I really like the look of this. The only thing is sometimes these lights, they don't really connect too well. Overall, this is a really cool addition to the setup, and I look forward to bringing something like this in the future. And then if we move to the right over here, this is where my whole couch setup is, I guess. So this is from Living Spaces, and then I have all my Pokemon plushies that are on top here. Plan on keeping these and integrating them with the new setup. And that one is my favorite one because I like to lay my head on that. And then we have these nano leaf panels that are up here. These are really nice, and I can't wait to bring these forward into the new setup. And then to the right of it, I have an IKEA lamp, and then this one does have a Philips Hue bulb inside, so I can change the color and the temperature and all that kind of stuff. And then your boy is a plant dad. We have these plants over here. I like to keep some live fresh plants, and I really do think it helps with the setup. Not just the looks, but also these really do help, and it's a natural way of filtering the air. Okay, and then onto the other side of the sofa, we have the TV setup. And I haven't really shown this on my channel too much. I haven't really covered any kind of TVs, but that is something I'm looking forward to covering in 2025. And this is a TV from 2020, so it's pretty old in terms of tech. And throughout the years, I haven't really had the need to upgrade the TV, but probably in 2025 or maybe next year, I do plan on upgrading this. But using this with the PS5, it's just the perfect companion with it. Thankfully, a lot of the stuff is coming out on the PC, so I usually play over there. And then back here, I also have a Switch setup. I use a Switch with this TV, but it honestly does not look really good at all. And if Nintendo doesn't include 4K gaming into the new Nintendo Switch, I don't know what they're doing. But yeah, that's my TV setup. And then I know you guys have seen this PS5 in the corner here, but let's move on to basically the last part of the studio, which is my PS5 setup. So yeah, here we have my PS5 setup. So here on the left, we have the original PS5, and your boys struck out every single time trying to get the 30th anniversary edition. It is what it is, we take the L's. Then if we zoom in on here, we have the PS5, the official light. It just adds to the aesthetic for the whole PS5 setup. And then we have some amiibos, I think they're called. So I have Cloud, my boy Sephiroth. Growing up, Final Fantasy VII that's the GOAT. We gotta pay tribute to that. This is a pixel art panel from Divoom. So here I just have kind of like my YouTube stats up here. It also has the date and time. And then finally to the right of that, we have headphone and controller setup. So we have the DualSense Edge here, and this is mainly what I use to game on the PS5. And then we have the InZone H9. These are the perfect PS5 headset. They have noise ANC, so active noise cancellation. Really, the PS5 is just kind of like a comfort way to play games for me. This is just mainly for those PS5 exclusives. And then if we move down a level, we have my Lego Star Wars. So I have the TIE Fighter, and then I have the AT-ST if I'm not mistaken. I have the Millennium Falcon right there, and then I have the X-Wing. Your boy rocks with the Empire. Too bad that they were really stupid. Team Empire for life. And then at the bottom of this, we have kind of some boring stuff. Then right down here, we have a NAS, and this one is from Synology. This one keeps all of my data whenever I need to store something, or if I need to just kind of like keep it long term, I store it onto here. I honestly want to upgrade it and get some more storage because I use this thing all the time and sometimes it does get filled up. Yeah, that is my NAS, but that is the setup, you guys. Looking at this space, all I see is just all the blood, sweat, and tears and work that I put into this. It took a lot from me, but it gave me my start. I've learned so much and I'm going to take every single experience here and I'm gonna design a space that's even better. But for now, we have to say goodbye. Thank you for watching all these years. This is David serving you a little side of tech, and I'll see you in the next video. God bless you guys.